There we go. Wow. Hi, mamas. So great to be with you today. Let me ask you this. Are you showing up for your business in the way that you want to? Or do you feel like you're posting randomly, hoping for the best? And when you have time to post, do you wonder where to start because you've stopped and started so often that you just feel a little bit lost and you've lost your flow? Well, this year we've been learning together as a team, all these amazing women on this call. And I've been sharing the journey as we all go along building a personal brand. So, welcome to Mum with a Side Hustle. It's lovely to have you here today. Thank you to the amazing women in our Zoom room. We've got Laura, Karen, Rita, and Jade. It's great to have you guys here. And if you are watching the replay either on Facebook or YouTube, why don't you drop a little, hey, I'm here, I made it, I'm showing up in the chat, and maybe let us know where you're from because we just love to connect with you all. But yeah, it's so great to be with all of you guys today. And I'm just going to pin myself. Yeah, so mums in the Zoom room. I've got a question for you. You ready? What's one thing you've learned this year about personal branding that's been valuable for you? And can you articulate it in one sentence? Oh, Rita, your girls are just looking so cute today. If anyone's wondering, one of Rita's girls is Paw Patrol today. Okay, so what's one thing you've learned this year about personal branding that's been valuable for you? So, can you explain that in one sentence? So, just unmute and let's hear from the Zoom room, the incredible mamas in the Zoom room. Laura's ready to go. I can feel it.
You can feel it. I've learned so much, but one thing would be uh what is it? Quantity over quality to some degree. Like you just need to get
Okay.
stuff out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
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 You got to get started, eh? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of where you are now is like, do I just launch it even though what I'm creating is, yeah.
Yeah. Just just have to you just have to start and then you just have to keep putting it out there. So if you want to grow, it's quantity and then I feel like you can definitely target quality after that. But you sort of have to, if you want to grow fast, you just have to keep putting things out there, and
Yeah.
some might not get seen or liked as much as others. But
Yeah.
yeah, you'll hit the jackpot eventually.
I think there's a few words that pop up for me. There's like the difference between excellence and perfection.
Mm,
And then there's also like vulnerability, like just showing up and just doing something so that you actually can get yourself in momentum.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind. Okay, Karen, do you want to share one thing you've learned this year about personal branding that's been useful for you?
I like learning just about sharing a story. I really enjoyed your stories and started to do my own. It's been, yeah, really cool.
I've really enjoyed your stories, and I just every week I feel like I just need one a week, Karen.
Yeah, I just want to read pretty much.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be a great place to start. And do you know, so Karen is an artist, guys, and she's got an incredible gift. She's had it her whole life, but she's also stewarded that gift. But yeah, what was I going to say now? Oh, it left my head. But yeah, Karen, you've been doing a great job showing up with your art and your stories, and I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, well done. Okay, what about you, Rita? And then Jade, if you want to put your camera on, you can, or if you want to put it in the chat, I'll read it out. What's one thing you've learned about personal branding? What about you, Rita?
Um, I think they're just putting stuff out there and also the trying to kind of, your pillars kind of trying to do the posts
Yeah, cool.
around those four things. Like I haven't quite got them all sorted yet, but that kind of concept is quite helpful.
Yeah, we're going to go over that again today. So
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Cool. Okay, Jade, I'm going to check the Zoom chat. She might be with the kids or doing something. I went to Jade's new property yesterday. It was so exciting. Oh, you're there.
I'm here. I'm here.
I didn't even look at that picture we took. I need to post it.
Oh
The
no, I look
dream
horrible.
fulfilled.
I look the mess. One thing I've learned, because I actually didn't know what branding was, So I just learned like it's you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
It's not like something else.
Yeah.
What is kind of what I thought branding was. Like it had to be, yeah. But then I think, you can get your colors and your fonts and all that sort of stuff, but it's
Yeah.
really at the end of the day, you're just sharing you and your life and
And,
what
and
you're
do you
doing.
think that that's changed for you? Because when I think about what I see of you on social media, you were already doing that. So has that changed or developed in any way?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know how? Or does it just feel different?
Um, I think now I'll be sharing different stuff because of now where we live,
Yes.
what we're doing, and
Yeah.
incorporating that into my brand, I guess,
Yeah.
or me, or
Yeah.
just what we, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
think it does
like
change.
for context, Jade has moved to a lifestyle property that's actually really beautiful and very well set up with gardens and chickens and sheep and extra houses and
Yeah,
it's
tell me about
amazing,
it.
Jade. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So your
So
brand is
yeah,
going to pivot a little bit to the
yeah,
lifestyle of living
yeah,
on this land.
yeah. But still in alignment with what I wanted and was doing anyway, with the homeschooling the
Yes.
kids, and so it's still along that same line, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
more.
we joked yesterday about like needing like a kombucha starter and a sourdough starter because
Yeah.
that's what you need to have. Oh, but you also need to make tallow. That's another thing you do if you have a homestead.
Oh, jeez.
And cheese and butter and all that stuff.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Ah, so exciting. Cool. Okay, well, let's jump into some content today. And you guys definitely have already got the heart of this, but I'm just gonna go over it again because I know we've got some new amazing mums who've joined the community recently. Thank you so much, Rita, for adding some of your friends, and some other friends jumped in this week, so that was really cool. So I want to kind of zoom out for a moment. I'm going to first talk about why consistency. Your tallow is now very expensive. Why consistency matters, and then we're going to go into why personal branding matters. I learned something new this week, but let's just talk about consistency. So, trust requires time and repetition. So, just like being in real life, building trust online takes time and consistency. Okay, so that's why I called the challenge Build a Personal Brand in a Year. Even though it's an 8-week challenge, you can't build a personal, you can start a personal brand in 8 weeks, but you really need at least a year to establish yourself, if not more, because I'm in like year 2. Although I didn't have anyone help me to start with, so you guys have got the accelerator package. One post is not going to build a business. So business success doesn't come off one post. It takes an ongoing presence and visibility. My personal experience shows that there's a difference. So I've tried like my counseling business. We did some online trading, some other affiliate marketing businesses, but I've learned kind of the hard way that without a consistent brand presence, my results are going to be limited. And I've talked about this a lot. With personal branding, you really want to think about it as a compounding experience. So it's not one post plus one post plus one post plus one post. It's one post times one post times two posts times one post, 3 posts times one post. Like it expands over time. The amount of time and energy you put into your posting and connecting with people, it doesn't just build like singularly, it multiplies and like compounds out. I'm trying to think of the right words. It's, in maths, you have a number and then you have to the power of.
Exponential.
Thank you. Exponential. Kieran and Rita, you guys were so good at maths at school. You weren't, Kieran. I'm sure you were just so smart. I always thought you were so smart. Rita, you were good at maths though, and now Rita is a scientist. So there's our little Paw Patrol on the screen. I love that your girls are doing your hair. Yeah, so consistency builds connection and impact. Okay, that doing that over a long period of time is, thank you, Rita, it's exponential. Exponential. And we want exponential growth, right? Your brand needs deep roots. So long-term results come from deep, steady growth, not quick wins. And I would definitely 100% say in my experience of the last coming up a year and a half, I've learned so much about myself and my brand and what this whole thing is able to do that it has become a lot easier to talk and post and show up and connect with you guys. And yeah, like I need my roots to go deep. Okay. So that is why you want some consistency over time. You're learning, you're growing, and especially, Kieran, what you highlighted about writing your story, that is so key. Because I'm a narrative therapist as well by training, the way we talk about our lives actually writes our futures. So if I think about myself as someone who is shy and I only talk about myself that way, I think about all the experiences in my life where I was shy and I didn't speak up, then I will actually reproduce the same thing. I will reproduce myself as a shy, can't show up, can't speak up kind of person. But every single person has these moments in their life where they were not shy, where they did speak up, where they were someone who they really want to be, someone bold, courageous, driven by their values, for example. And so that part of your story, when you articulate it, reproduces more of that. So as Kieran writes her stories about her art and the meaning behind it and the time she took for it and the care that she had in her heart for the friend that she created it for, not only is she teaching her audience to value her art, because the last piece she wrote about took like a year and a half or 2 years to create, from the idea to the full final creation. How long did that take?
It was over a year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, now I look at your art with different eyes. I'm like, oh, wow, like that's worth a lot of money and a lot of value because it took her a long time to come up with that. She hunted for over a year to find the perfect rose to depict on this canvas for her friend. And she had to learn about all these colors and all these amazing things. And yeah, now I have so much more value, Kieran, for your art. So keep telling your story.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Posting is more than just promotion. So posting is a journey of learning, growing, and connecting with others. So posting is not just about what you're putting out in the world, it's actually about who you're building connections with. And Kieran, I'm going to highlight you again because the post you put up has had so many comments. Well done. And that's what we really want. We really want comments and we want to reply to them. And then my next kind of goal is to find ways to connect personally with people, personal message them and just say, hey, like, I love what you shared, or thank you for that, or make that personal connection. And this is why, because people buy from people, they don't buy from brands. Mic drop. Okay, growth takes time, and that's okay. It took me more than 1 year to earn my degree. In fact, I studied for 5 years to get to my master's in counseling. Now, I'm not recommending that that's the best pathway to build your business, but I didn't become excellent at any of the stuff that I've learned in my life by just doing it for even 1 year. Like 1 year is a great start, but it took a long time to get the qualification, the experience. I did a bachelor's degree and then I did 2 years of a master's of counseling kind of 5 years later after I got some life experience. And then I counseled for like more than 5 years. I practiced and I learned and I got good at the skill. So, it takes time. And then lastly, this is my favorite thing. Can anyone remember? Choose consistency over intensity. So release the pressure to succeed overnight. You're not going to. And even if you did, say you produced a viral video as your first one and you went viral, you'd really struggle to do that again because you just don't know what you're doing. It was an accident. So you do want to choose consistency over intensity and choose something that is going to be sustainable and worth sticking at for you. One of my friends says that you've got to spend time imagining this future that you want, because there are going to be a lot of moments where you come up to a wall of like, well, why bother? And if you've got a dream of something that you desire, an outcome that you want, and you can taste it and feel it, then you are going to go for it in a different kind of way. You are going to bother. Okay, practically, let's just talk about posting. But this is why you like what regular posting does. It keeps you visible to your audience. It builds trust and credibility. It connects you with potential clients or customers, and it creates momentum. Okay, so let's just start a little discussion. We started it we have a Mum Tribe chat. I'm going to rename the chat to Mum Tribe. I hope that's okay. I like that name. But let's just talk for a second. I want to hear what it's like for you guys. What's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to posting consistently? And if you're watching us live or later on, what's your biggest challenge to posting consistently? So let's have a chat in the Zoom room. I'm going to check if anyone's live. I always forget to check if anyone's live with us, and then they message me later and they were like, I was there the whole time and I didn't see your comment. Rita, do you want to share like how you were chatting in the group about why you find it hard to post consistently? We're not here to solve your problem, but I think like let's have a real life chat.
Mine is just being busy,
Yeah.
generally busy, and busy from 5:30 in the morning till, I don't know, sometimes midnight.
Yeah, and that's a very long day.
I know. I don't know how I've done it, but it's crazy. I think my body's now kind of getting to the point of, no, you need rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a real hard one, and I think you've just done amazing showing up the way you have. What about for you, Kieran? What's the challenge in posting consistently?
It's probably number one, probably just time. I'm just busy a lot. There's a lot of, just household things that I do, life stuff. And then I guess it's ideas as well. Like I get a little bit of a window on a Tuesday when my boys are at school, so I sit down then and then just go through my pictures and go, which one shall I share about?
Yeah.
And apart from that, yeah, it's just having the time to sit down and think, what do I even want to do? What do I want to get out of this? Or what do I want to share? How do I do that? I haven't really spent a lot of time sitting down, even journaling and thinking. So I'm just trying to go back to square one and think, what am I even trying to build here? And what's my, long-term goals?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I've actually got something for Kieran and Rita today. They don't know what I've got for them. It's coming up in the call. Jade, if you're there, we'd love to hear what's the biggest challenge you face when it comes to posting consistently. Well, I mean, the challenge is posting consistently, right? And the reason I find it hard sometimes is if I've got this one block every week where I plan my posts, and I feel like I'm really having to fight for it. In the last few weeks, like it's on a Monday in the evening, and so the baby could wake up, or something else needs to be done, or my husband asks for something, and all these things kind of come on in, and I'm like, I must do it on a Monday night. Okay, Jade, what's your challenge with posting consistently?
Yeah, I think it's just finding time to do it. Yeah, that I find super especially to post for stories. It's just super easy for me.
It's on the go.
I just snap it throughout my day and then post it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for an extra post or a reel, it's just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I usually compile my reels while I'm putting Rue to sleep.
Yes, I actually do find breastfeeding can be quite a good time to do
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Yeah. Can be a helpful moment if you're still in that season. You've got to sit down for a period of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Laura, you get up early, eh? That's your like little secret life hack. But you go to
Yeah.
bed early as well.
Yes, we do. But at the moment, because we're what would be the word? I don't know. Just because we're finding our feet in all our hustles, our evenings do drag out a little bit longer than we'd like now. So that the sleep is only, it's not as long as I'd like anymore. But it is what it is. Uh, I feel like, well, I'll announce that I did my first post this morning.
Yay, Laura!
Finally got it out onto TikTok.
Okay, tell us who you are, Laura. Give us a little promo.
What was that?
What's your TikTok name? How can we find you?
It's Divine Life Diaries. One.
Okay. Yeah.
I can
Awesome.
share it potentially to the group. I'll have to figure out that. And it was just, I just had to post it because it was annoying me not to.
Yeah.
So I was like over the overthinking, over editing, over the asking everyone. So I just did it.
Good job.
And so consistently from there, I reckon one of the things is definitely time. Like even this morning, I didn't get it done before the kids woke up. So then it was sort of like, then you feel kind of mum guilt creeping in when you're trying to focus on it. So that was the one. And I think one of the things I'm going to try and do is make it, but yeah, I guess from our last conversations around being present but being tidy and presentable, but real life. So you've got to try and find, because you obviously don't want to make it so hard that you just don't get around to do because A, B, C, D, D, and so on. But you want it to be easy. So yeah, I'm just trying to find a pattern that fits both those things.
Yeah. And it's all just learning, and adapting in every season.
Yeah.
Okay, look, we'll come back to this. So let's go jump into talking about our content pillars. Sorry, I'm going to jump to the chat and see what Rita wrote in here. Ideas is one thing, then executing. Focus on work when kids are around makes me snap at the kids. Yeah, it does me too. I don't like being on my phone when the kids are there because then they want to be on the phone. They've just, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what are content pillars. So Jade taught me this. Yay, Jade. Jade told me about this little phrase, content pillars. Content pillars help you stay consistent and focused. So you write out a bunch of content pillars, 3 to 5, and these are going to be the main themes that align your business, your passion, and your values. They align with all those things. And you can use them. They're really helpful for post planning. So what I just want to share quickly, and before we go too deep into this, is a worksheet that I've created that is available to everyone. If you want to get it from me, there will be a link in the bio with a little, you can sign up to get the emails, and then I can email you this. So this is the content creation worksheet, and it goes through at the beginning, define your content pillars, and it explains what they are. So you could print this out and put it somewhere so it's like really visual for you. We've been moving heaps, so I can't wait to have an office space where I can hang things up. And then we're going to go through how brainstorming in the 4 types of posts. And then lastly, your posting schedule. So it's a really simple little black printout that that I think is really useful, and I hope would be something that would be really good for everyone to use. So I worked on some ideas, Kieran and Rita, and for Pam, but she's not here. Some ideas for you, right, about content pillars. So I told ChatGPT this. This is what I told ChatGPT. I'm going to try and bring it up. I wrote out where is it? Okay. I don't know where it is. Oh, here we go. So I said, this is the first one. Can you give me an example of content pillars for the following personal brands? And this was you, Kieran. A mum who sells bespoke art of people's animals, has 1 child, and is building a bus they hope to live in one day as a family and travel. Okay, that's what I wrote. I might not be completely accurate, but that's what I wrote. So this is what it came up with, right? So your personal brand themes are creativity, family life, adventure, and authenticity. So here's some pillars you might like to consider. So art and commissions. Show your pet portraits, process videos, customer stories, and behind the scenes painting sessions. Second pillar is bus life dreams. So document the journey of building the bus, minimalism, and future plans to travel as a family. Number 3, mum and family moments. Share your experiences of motherhood and daily life as a creative parent because you have a unique perspective. And sometimes you tell me about things you do with your son, like creative things you do with him. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I would have never thought to do that. Number 4, creative life and inspiration. Talk about where your art ideas come from, your creative struggles and wins, and tips for fellow artists. And 5th, connection through animals. I like this one. Celebrate the bond between people and pets. Feature pet stories from your audience. And I thought that was cool because you are so connected to your pets. Yeah, so I'd love to hear what you think about this, Karen. Any of those resonate with you? You're smiling. Is
Well,
that
that's
like
quite amazing, really.
what's
Wow.
amazing?
Oh, just, how easily it comes up with those ideas that fit, really, I think. My original idea was I was actually going to document the bus build and put it on YouTube and, everything like that. And then as we traveled, show paintings that I did around the countryside and maybe people would want to buy them or something like that. But, then we had lots of house moves and the YouTube whole thing kind of got put on the shelf just because it was too hard when we went through all the moves we did. But yeah, I got very slack at posting.
But you like those ideas, right?
I like the ideas. I might have to go back and listen to the recording on those ones, I think.
Oh, well, I can send them to you. I've
Oh,
got
that'd
you.
be great. Thanks,
I've
Alicia.
got you. Okay, Rita, are you ready? You're going to laugh at what I wrote about you. So, can you give me some examples of content pillars for the following personal brand? A woman who has a makeup network marketing side hustle, works in a lab, 3 kids, and likes to be behind the scenes. Is that okay so far? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, here's the content pillars. So your personal brand themes are beauty, balance, quiet confidence, and family. So first one is behind the beauty. Show, and you're already doing this one, show real life makeup tips, quick routines for busy mums, and why you love your products. You've been doing great with that. The second one is this, quiet ambition. Share reflections on being introverted. I don't know would you consider yourself introverted? Anyway, share reflections on being introverted, yes, working behind the scenes, and still pursuing dreams confidently. Okay. I think that's going to give you something to think about. Number 3, life in the lab and home. Offer snippets of juggling lab work and mum life with relatable, grounded storytelling. So obviously you can't take photos in the lab, but you could probably take one in your coat with no branding on it. But like you do juggle mum life and working very, very well. So I'm sure you've got some great stories. Number 4, empowering women in business. Encourage others who feel not loud enough to still go for it in business. So you could talk about why you got going with it, even though you don't feel like you're a loud kind of out there person. And the last one is your journey and wins. So share your side hustle, milestones, breakthroughs in your business or personal growth. So yeah, what do you think about those, Rita?
It sounds pretty good.
What one do you like the most, or what one do you connect with?
The couple that I hadn't really thought about were the how to do things well, the second or third one. That was the one that I'd have to think about quite a bit, but I hadn't thought about it
The
before.
quiet ambition one, or
that
the
one,
empower woman in business?
Yeah, that first one that you said.
Yeah,
just
quiet ambition. Share
Yeah.
reflections on being introverted, working behind the scenes, and still pursuing dreams
Yeah.
confidently.
Yeah, I had not thought of that kind of thing before.
That's cool. Jade, if you're there, would you like to share your content pillars? And Laura, are you getting any ideas while we're chatting about this? Okay, I'm going to share with you the last one I did. I'll go, Laura. What sort of content pillars do you think you might create for yourself?
I don't know, but it was a great idea to get somebody else that knows you to use your personality, like your traits, I guess, as an outsider, what you'd put in something automatic. Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Oh, I have a think for you.
Yeah.
I have a think. But anything you think that you'd make as your content pillars? So even you could start with your title. So what's the title of your TikTok again? Divine Life
Divine Life
Diaries.
Diaries, yeah. So I think one of the reoccurring things is discipline as a
Mhm.
mother, yeah, which is kind of follows it for that theme of like, showing up. How do you be disciplined as a mother when think you have to go with the flow to some
Yeah.
degree? And sort of inspiring home life reality. Yeah, not sure exactly yet.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, I think this
Exciting.
will be the next thing that I do spend a bit of time on because it will pay to have those and have really open ones that you can feed a lot of content into. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I've got one for Pam, but I'm gonna save it. I'll save it for our call. We're gonna have a mum tribe call on Monday night, so I'll save it for that. Okay, so number two. So you're gonna create your content pillars, and the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna want to brainstorm your post ideas. But one thing that we need to realize is there's actually different ways of posting. And we can often get stuck just doing one of them. So I'm going to go over the 4 key ways that we can post. These are sort of like the styles of post. So the first one is personal story post ideas. So you're going to share your story, your journey, your struggles, and why you started your business. So it's like a personal story thing, right? The second one is educational and value posts. So this is where you offer tips, ideas, you're trying to be helpful in some way with something that you know about. So like Karen would be giving tips on particular something to do with art or something to do with bus building, because these are her themes. She can give tips on any of that. Or caring for animals. I mean, you must have so much knowledge about how to care for animals or connect with animals. So you've really got a rich amount of information there, Karen, to create something from. The third type of posting is engagement post ideas. So ask a question, post a poll, or get people talking. My favorite one, you probably see me do it occasionally, is on Facebook. You can just ask a question and it sort of takes up the screen, and like the post is literally a colored background with a question. I really love doing those because that just catches people's attention, and it's really about getting them to engage. So the question could be deep, but I find if it's too deep, then people don't answer because it's too hard. You don't want to make it hard. Jade's done really, I don't even know if she tries to, but she's done some good ones like, do you guys have life insurance? What do you recommend? And that gets people engaging. And the more engagement you can get, the next post you get, the next post you do will actually show up more on people's story on people's front page of Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you're using. So getting engagement really helps the algorithm. There we go. Favor your posts, your feed. Thank you, Rita. Wow. I haven't drunk enough water today, I don't think. Okay, Miss gets up at 5:30 and goes to bed at midnight. It's doing better than me. No wonder. She is the scientist in a lab, and I'm not. Okay, call to action. Here's your call to action posts. These are posts that invite your audience to take an action. So I'm trying to be really good at putting so I take our Zoom call, I put it on YouTube because Facebook gets rid of them after 30 days now. And I'm also, that's part of my strategy for building Mum with a Side Hustle, is getting it into a wider audience. And then I take that, I write a post and I put it on my personal Facebook page because um this is a funny thing to say, but I'm getting known now for what I'm doing. Getting known now. And people are like, oh, how can I find your video? And like Rita put out last week, we were chatting about this. It's really hard to find Mum with a Side Hustle, Alicia Sauli, on YouTube. So I'm going to try and help make that easy for people by putting that out there. And that's a call to action post. And it's also letting people know like this is what's helpful and useful. So yeah, that's a call to action post. What type of post do you guys find easiest? Personal post, educational or value post, engagement post, or call to action? What of those is the easiest for you to do?
Mine's probably education.
Yeah, Cool. Yep. You do some good education ones. Jade says personal. I find personal probably the easiest. Kieran?
Yeah, I find a personal story easier to share.
Yep. Cool.
I haven't done enough to comment.
We will soon see. One cool thing we did talk about last week, which I think should really be encouraging to us, is that you want to be like, a personal brand is about personal, right? So you have to share about you. But you don't have to share everything, and that's why you choose content pillars, because one, it's too confusing for people if you are showing up about random stuff all the time. But if you're consistently, even if it's a broad range like Karen, we've got pets, we've got bus life, we've got art, okay? But those are three clear things that she loves, and she fuses them together in her own way. So you don't have to share everything about your life, Karen, but if you're sharing your personal perspective on those things, you're being personal. So the content mix we chatted about last week was 70% real life or encouragement or behind the scenes, 70% about you. Okay, 20% tips and education, and only 10% calls to action. That's because we need to be putting more money in the bank with telling people who we are and what we're doing and what we care about, but then taking the money out. So a call to action is like a withdrawal from the bank of trust. And so once we can really tip the scales of encouragement, behind the scenes, real life value, giving people value, serving them in some way, then it's almost like we have permission to withdraw from that bank account, that friendship bank account that we've built. So one thought I had was, with this, the 70-20-10, the 70% real life encouragement behind the scenes, your daily stories, if you post daily, that's a really great way of building up that 70%, because you might not have 70% of posts being about, your behind the scenes or your real life. So yeah, that could be helpful. Okay, so let's talk about how often you should post. This is going to be super personal to every single person. But let me just say this: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you want to build something with consistency, and if that thing is personal branding, not everyone. Even we had a chat in the Mum with the Side Hustle Mum Tribe chat just today, that one of the person in the group, it's not her plan to post consistently, but she has other priorities, other things that are her consistency. So if your plan is to build a personal brand, then you are going to need to choose consistency in this area. Then you're going to need to want to set up some sort of schedule. Okay, so how often is that going to be? It could be 1 to 2 times a week. It could be 3 to 4 times a week. It could be like 5+ times a week. That's definitely not me. You might want to choose what days you're going to do it. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. You're going to want to choose the topics for each week. You might want to write one long post. You might want to do a draft. You, like me, you might have Mondays as your everything day. So I might give myself an hour to plan my posts and schedule them. I discovered something fun, and I haven't tested it yet, but on my computer, I can't schedule on my personal Facebook page. But on my phone, I can schedule on my personal Facebook page. That is amazing and very exciting, because if I can schedule some of my posts, then I won't forget. The only problem with pre-scheduling posts is that you do need to be interacting with other people's posts to get a favorable outcome from the algorithm. So you would have to remember, okay, I've got a post scheduled for 7 a.m. I better go and like and share and comment on other people's posts before 7, and then a little bit after 7. Okay, so yeah, but the posting schedule is going to be really, really key, and it's really going to help you. And I'm going to talk in a moment about a key that's really helped me get good at this. I'm not perfect by any means, and I have been struggling in the last few weeks. I think the balance is just a bit out somewhere in our family. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yeah, I often have to scale it back or think about what am I giving my energy to, and I'm not making time for this. But yeah, I'm going to chat about Master the Code quickly before we finish the call, because Master the Code's played a really big role in helping me get consistent with my goals. So yeah, okay, so that's planning a posting schedule. a really good tip I have for you. This is the bonus. We're coming into the end of our topic today, but my bonus tip is this. Use AI tools to speed up content creation. So you guys, Kieran and Rita, saw today what I asked it and what it gave me. Amazing. Amazing. Another thing I've done is I've given it my content pillars and the 4 types of posts. And then I've said I want to post 3 times a week. Create an 8-week schedule for me. And it came up with all of these ideas for 8 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday posts. Now, is it perfect? No. But does it get me a lot further forward than what I was? Yes. Because I've got something to go from and something to sit down with and something to do on a Monday night. Oh, I'll just pull that out now so I'm not random. Okay. So yeah, here's some other things you can do with AI. You can generate post ideas and captions. We just talked about that. You can share your past content with AI to help it refine your language so that when it gives you new ideas, it does it in your words. You can ask it to suggest hooks. This is key, and I'll tell you what that is in a second, based on your topic to make your post more engaging. So one thing that is really strategic when you post is to start with a hook. A hook is a line or a series of lines at the beginning of a video, a written post, a reel that hooks people in. It intrigues people. It gets them interested. I've been reading a memoir of someone who biked South America from the top to the bottom. Every chapter she starts with a hook. So it's quite a common writing technique, writing with hooks. And I really suggest you learn how to do that. So you can tell ChatGPT, for example, or give them a post that you've written, and then you can say, write me some hook ideas, and then you can choose your hook from the ideas that it's given you. Okay, that's what I do. I'm like, give me some cool hooks. The other thing that I would suggest getting ChatGPT to help you with is something called a call to action. Now, we did say that not every post should be a call to action, but I found that really awkward, writing calls to action. So what I got ChatGPT to do for me was I'd give it my post and I would say something like, I want my call to action to be, here's a link to go and watch my latest YouTube video, or here's a link so that you can sign up for my emails, or even a call to action like leave a comment below if you relate to this. And so what I would do is I'd put my desired call to action statement in ChatGPT, and then I would ask it, like it would spit out some, and then I'd say I didn't like them. I would say, oh, they're too, they don't feel like me. I literally would tell ChatGPT this. They don't feel like me. Can you make them sound a little bit softer? You've got to use, you can use emotional words with ChatGPT. So make it sound softer or less aggressive, or make it more challenging if you feel like you want it to be more like in your face. So that's how you get it to write something that fits for you. Cool, eh? Isn't that cool? I just think it's amazing that you can use it like that. And then another thing you can do. So Kieran, I want you to try this. Okay, here's your homework. That post you wrote about the red rose painting. I want you to try putting it into ChatGPT and get it to repurpose it for you. So, oh, hold on. I'm going to have invaders if I don't lock that door. You can put that post you wrote in ChatGPT and then tell it, can you please write me a shorter post with this? Or what else do I do? Help me think of other ways I can use this post. What are some other posts I can write out of this? Like just start there, like real basic. What other ways could I post this story? Or is there another angle I can tell my red rose story from? Or you could say, let's go back to your content pillars, Kieran. So your rose story fits really well with creative life and inspiration. Talk about where your art ideas come from, your creative struggles and wins, and tips for fellow artists. Okay, I think it fits quite well under that. But maybe you wanted to turn it into a call to action post. So you could say to, like, because you did have a call to action at the end of it, but maybe you want to reinforce that in some way. Maybe you want to put out the story post without a call to action, and then you want to, next time you want to put a call to action on it. So you could put it into ChatGPT and say, can you rewrite this for me so I can tell people that I love doing commission art for them and I would love to help them with a piece of art that would really light up their home, like this rose did for my friend who loves the color red, etc., right? So that's your homework this week, is to create just one more piece of and one more post out of that same red rose story. Do you feel okay to do that? You don't feel like you're going to be repeating yourself too much? We'll let you unmute.
Sorry, taking a while to find the unmute button. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out what call to action I'd want people to do right now. Because I don't feel like I've got much time to do any commission work. So
have you got
yeah.
art for sale anywhere? Or you want them to go to your
Um,
website? Or what could you,
yeah,
what would
I
be
mean, if
one
you go to
thing?
Art America, there's some prints on there. Nothing sold for like a few years on there, but I do have a print probably of it there that people can
Yeah.
purchase. So
Well, why don't you
um,
do that? Why don't you ask it to create a call to action and tell people where they can buy your prints?
take a work.
I don't know, just give it a try. It's all about
Yeah, get some thought.
testing. Yeah, okay. There we go. Tuesday when you're waiting in the car for your son. Okay, we're going to bring this to a close. I've made a worksheet for you guys if you would like to have it all in together. I know that some of you I did show if you've been on the call the whole time. So it has the 4 content pillars. And Jade says, go, Karen, you can do it. So I've got the 4 content pillars, the 4 types of posts, and you can do some brainstorming and use ChatGPT to help you. And then the last part of that, I'm just going to bring it up one more time. Oh, it's gone. Here we go. Content creation worksheet. I'm going to share the screen. Please hold, caller. Here we go. Here is the content creation worksheet. So define your content pillars. You don't need 5. Okay, keep it simple if simple is better for you. Here's where you can do brainstorm your post ideas. And I would suggest that you get ChatGPT to help you come up with some of these. And then here's where you put your posting schedule. Okay, so I hope that that little worksheet is really handy for everyone. Okay, let's finish up. Thank you all for being here today. I'm going to tell you something amazing. You each have a superpower because of the season that you're in. When we face limits, like time limits, it actually is an invitation into getting really clear about what we want and why we want it and how we're going to get there. And Master the Code has been instrumental in helping me do this. Okay, it teaches you focus, execution, consistency. It has 5 main pillars. They're all amazing and brilliant. And honestly, it's changed our lives because we've been using the system. I can't recommend it anymore. So yeah, whatever you're facing in your parenting or your business or in your relationships, you guys have the potential to become something you've never met before, or someone you've never seen before. So let's be women who see the challenge and rise. Okay, we've been going live every week. We're week 5 of 8 weeks this week, live in the Facebook group. I put the replays up on YouTube. We've been walking through the process of how to create a personal brand in a year in under 3 hours a week. This program is so valuable. I've learned so much. I know these mums have learned so much. It's completely free on YouTube. So if you have friends who are mums who want to build a personal brand or have some sort of business, but they're really struggling to get going, please invite them to Mum with a Side Hustle or connect them with me in some way. I would love to help and serve everyone who is on this journey. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me and Karen and Laura and Rita and Jade today. And we'll be back here next week for week 6 of the 8-week challenge. But thank you, mamas. You're amazing. And I love doing this with you. I love sharing the journey, and I bless all your side hustles. Okay, bye.